All right, delegate. It's a verb meaning to entrust a task or responsibility to another person, typically less senior than oneself. Seems pretty simple, right? Tell somebody what to do. Apparently, it can be both a blessing and the bane of a boss's existence, according to our friends with Action Coach Columbus. Pete McDowell, Peg Buehrle, back in this sponsored segment. Always good to see you both.
Good to see you. Thank you.
And Pete, you say this is kind of another hot topic for you and Peg. Like, you deal with this on the daily,
this
right?
This comes up a lot, and it came up this past week with a gentleman who's a project manager with one of our larger companies. So we work with several managers within this big company, and he was just overwhelmed.
Okay.
And so we talked about delegation for about half of his session.
I was going to say, is it that people don't delegate or that they don't know who to? I mean, is it all involved?
Well, yes, and part of it is you've got to be able to be comfortable enough to delegate. So if you put it all on yourself, and pretty soon you find out you're working 60, 70 hours a week and it keeps going up, and you're stressed. This gentleman was very stressed, and he was working a lot, and he needed to let go of some things.
Okay, so let's say the three things now. You say these are needed to be considered when you're delegating, so you can expand on each. The first one is expected results or clarity of outcome. What does that mean?
So what happens a lot of times is there's abdication versus delegation, meaning just do this. And they give you a sheet of paper and you walk away without specific expectations or deadlines or the how-to. So that's what you really have to say is when you are successful, this is what we'll see.
Okay.
And a lot of times we'll get feedback, Robyn, like, I delegated and it doesn't work. Well, what we want you to do is look in the mirror. How are you delegating?
Yeah.
Right?
Where did you go wrong? Something maybe
wrong?
didn't happen. Okay, so
Take
number
ownership
two.
for your handoff.
Yes.
So I'm responsible, if I give it to you, I'm responsible for what you heard.
And a lot of times, though, I think it's that, well, they didn't do a good job, so it's better if I just do it all the time, right?
That's exactly it.
Right? It's kind of,
It's almost like you've done that before.
excuse me, what are you talking about? I'm pointing the finger at myself as I'm doing that. Is that like a sign?
You're taking over.
All right.
I like that.
Number two, you say is boundaries. What does that mean? Setting them or?
Well, am I allowed to spend $1 million or $10,000?
Okay. All right. That's a big
Can I spend
boundary.
a week on this or a month? Yeah. And can I get 10 more other employees involved to get this done, or do I need to really do it myself?
Okay.
So what are the limits within which I can operate? If you clarify those, the person has total freedom to do whatever they need to do to get it done.
They've got to know the parameters.
They know the boundaries up front.
Yep. Okay. Number three, when possible, provide autonomy.
Yes. So a lot of times you've been elevated to a manager position because you're good technically. That's generally how we do it. And so you're going to probably be the best person there is in that role. And more than likely that person is not going to do it as great as you would have done it to begin with. And
Sure.
that's got to be okay. So we don't want you to look over your shoulders. You don't want to be there saying, no, 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 like constantly adjusting and not allowing them to fail and succeed on their own. So give them the parameters and the boundaries in which to do it. Give them the ability and the rope in which to have it complete.
It's that micromanaging type
Correct.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's hard for people to let go to. And then you say too, all that in mind, although, those three things, if they get through that, it does get easier. Is that what you kind of try to tell them is like, there's a light at the end of this tunnel. Let's get through it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and both of you will get stronger, and the business is stronger because they're going to learn and develop in that particular task, and you'll have a little more time to do something else. So it's good for everybody.
I like that. And as a manager, what we'd like you to do is make a list, which I'm getting ahead of that. But when you do make the list, we want you to quit doing things. Your job is to quit. Quit doing tasks over time so that you're
Okay.
elevating yourself and you're elevating others.
And that is the ultimate goal, right?
Correct.
Yep.
To get them to that point. And you say that kind of put them on a challenge too. I know that they say that. Like once they do all those things, what do you say? Give a grade on how they did?
I love that.
Well,
See, that's
positive
exactly.
reinforcement is great. So let them know right away. Let them know specifically what they did that was good,
Yes.
the quality level, the timeliness, how they treated the customer, and make it positive.
Okay. Do you
Positive,
also have to
specific,
give them
and
that
timely.
constructive criticism as
Yes.
well
Of
if
course.
need be?
Yes.
If you
Lead
do
with
a-
the good?
Yes.
Do a lot of the positive, specific, timely as a habit, the constructive will be heard better.
Okay. And I love that you kind of put this today, Pete. I know you say success in these three areas will bring you business joy, but the opposite is also true. So what is that telling to these managers and bosses?
Well, and we see it over and over again, and we just saw it this past week where a stressed out executive not delegating enough, that's where it will end. Or
Okay.
you're going to drop balls and things are going to get missed, or a project will get delayed, or a customer will be upset because you didn't delegate enough.
Right. Or you end up leaving the job because it's overwhelming and it's too much, and you say, I can't take it anymore.
All right, so if you're working 70 hours a week and you're watching this show
Yes.
while you're doing 87 other things, call Peg and Pete, learn
Yes.
how to delegate, get through this process
go.
so that everybody can be a little less stressed, a little happier, and maybe more productive.
You
Right?
nailed it. That's perfect.
All right, actioncoachcolumbus.com. You can order their book, too, The Honest Truth About Leadership. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Robyn.